everybody. Can you guys hear me? How's everybody feeling today? Okay, so for my project, I decided to focus on a real issue here in Miami, which is the affordable housing crisis, if you guys don't know. So this is me. My name is Stephanie, in case you don't know. If you want to connect with me, that's how you do it. So what we're going to be talking about today, I'm going to guide you from the brief all the way to the prototype and our conclusion. So the city of Miami is in a housing crisis right now. Miami is struggling to keep up with the demand for affordable housing. So Code for Miami's Get Housing project is aiming to solve this issue by creating a streamlined digital platform for housing developers, nonprofit organizations, and Miami residents as well. So how many of you guys even knew there was a housing crisis in Miami? That's a good amount of people. So yeah, I did some secondary industry research, and if you just Google housing crisis Miami, all these things come up. It's just pages upon pages. And CBS Miami has a whole segment on their site just for this, and it's getting to the point where it's actually affecting dogs as well, which is really interesting and very sad. And this dog looks extremely sad right now. So going through some stats, Miami has the highest poverty rate for a city of its size in the US, and nearly 1/3 of the population is living in poverty. And so just to get some numbers, a full-time worker earning a minimum wage earns a salary of only $10,000. That's literally less than our tuition, so context. This person could probably only afford to pay $268 per month for rent. So that's obviously way lower than what it is right now. I wanted to get a better understanding of the business analysis, so I created a lean UX canvas. This told me about all the business issues, the possible benefits that could come out of this, and some solution ideas as well. I went in and put some more of these things into a value proposition canvas. This gave me an idea of how we can relate the business to the city of Miami's possible the user jobs to be done, as well as their pains and gains, and what some pain relievers can be in the future. So just to get a better understanding of the market, these are some of the competitors. There's Social Serve, affordable housing, and there's really not that many here in Miami. So I actually included Dahlia, which is a San Francisco housing portal. They're actually doing amazing things in San Francisco. So I added Get Housing into this blue ocean area where it can be modern and informative as well, because as you'll see later in the visual competitive analysis, all these sites are extremely dated and basically bare minimum. So to get a better understanding of the feature comparisons of these sites, if you go onto miamidade.gov, they literally have nothing. It's literally just a chart of addresses, and that's it. The other competitors have a little bit more features, but as you can see, Dahlia is doing really great. This gave me an idea of the user's mental models and what are industry standards. So I conducted some user research. I did 5 interviews, and some of the quotes that really stuck out to me was, "There's no online presence for affordable housing in Miami. Readability of information is challenging," and that person actually thought it was intentional to block certain people out. So first, user gains and pains. I focused on 3 segments of users. They're the housing developers, the nonprofit organizations, and the actual residents. And so this gave me an understanding of what's going on. So I looked at the gains, and more importantly, the pains. For housing developers, they really think that the affordable housing certification is too complicated. Nonprofits are not getting updated information, and residents feel there's no online presence, and the actual application process is very lengthy. So with all of this data in mind, I created a user persona. This exemplified all of the research that I created. This is Carlos Reyes. He's a Miami resident, and some of his goals are to search for affordable housing, and frustrations include gentrification in his area, being forced to move out, and not understanding specific terms like AMI. Does anyone here know what AMI is? So a lot of residents don't even know what that is. So that is actually the main requirement to know what affordable housing you can even apply to. So all this data went into a journey map, starting from the first task, which is searching for affordable housing units, all the way to the end. This gave us a better understanding of what our user would actually be doing and their emotions along the way. So here are all the pain points, and all the pain points gave us opportunities, well, me, opportunities for design, and this is why I look forward to ideate. So I came up with a lot of how might we's, but I decided to focus. This was like our main how might we. I keep saying our, but it was just me. Create a better experience for users navigating the path to affordable housing. And I made it a little bit broad because there's so many different users who are a part of this. There's the developers, the organizations, and the residents as well. So for feature prioritization, I put into a Moscow chart. And so for the must-haves, those are the features that really needed to be in my prototype. The MVP is to provide online platforms for users to follow users' mental models. So if you actually look at the sites, all of the sites are not really like other apartment websites. They're just completely different. And also to add a get help feature. So according to the data, designing an all-inclusive platform that not only shows available listings, but also allows users to get help in the application process will increase task completion rates and a decrease in bounce and churn rates. So onto the prototype. I started off with some lo-fis. I basically just sketched out what I wanted everything to look like so that I could be guided in the design process. I tested my lo-fis and with 5 users, and the average duration was 14.1 seconds, which is really good, and the misclick rate was only 10%, so that's not bad at all. Some of the feedback that I got was that they really liked the flow and it was easy to navigate, but maybe add some more white space around the elements so it's not as congested. Then I went on and took all of this data into my mid-fis. As you can see, I have a lot more white space, and I wanted to follow something that you would normally see searching for an apartment, so you're used to it. It follows the user's mental models. I did some usability testing with 6 testers, and the misclick rate went down to 7.1%, and the average duration went down to 6 seconds, which is very successful. I did get some feedback that on the specific listing details page that the text for the amenities was too large and it was a little bit overwhelming, so I took these notes into my hi-fis. To go on to the visual design, as I was saying earlier, this is the visual comparison. This is socialserve.com. This is the website. It looks really bad. And yeah, it's not that great at all. AffordableHousingOnline.com, this is another one, and both of those sites are actual national sites. There's no site just for Miami. This is what it looks like. It just looks like, again, it looks like it's not even done. So I created a mood board, and this is kind of my vision of what I wanted the visuals to look like and kind of guide me into it. I did desirability testing, and users described it as wholesome, family-oriented, friendly, and community. I wanted it to look very Miami, but also very clean as well. Here's some of the atomic design inventory, some of my cards and things like that. These are my brand attributes, and these are the hi-fis, and we can look at the prototype right now. Okay. So this is the prototype. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not a Mac person. So this is basically what the page would look like. It would look like something you're used to seeing. You can get help, et cetera, et cetera. So you would search by location, and then this would show you listings in the area, like that. So you'll click on one, and then this is what the listing would look like. So basically, just to recap, the user is looking for listings and trying to get help in the application process. As I said, it's very lengthy, and from our data, that's what they really complained about. So you can click here to get help. And this page would basically, nonprofit organizations are based off of certain needs. So there's some for elderly, there's some for disabled and family. So you would click on that, and then it would take you down to things that you're matched with. You can schedule a meeting with someone, a real person that you can talk to. It can be on the phone or in person. You can select the time, select the date, and then confirm the meeting. So this is solving the problem of people not knowing how to apply and what actually happens in the process. So you would confirm, your meeting is confirmed, and then that's it. Yeah, so I don't know how to get back. Yeah. So to conclude, some key learnings, there's so much to be done. This is an actual project that I'm working on. And I focused on the residents because that was the MVP. That's the minimum viable product and something I could complete within the time frame. For success metrics, it would be high user activity, decreased bounce and churn rates, and positive user feedback. Next steps is to create a platform for housing developers and nonprofit organizations. A CRM database for affordable housing information, because currently in the city of Miami, all the things are done on paper and it's not digitized. So it would be to add a digitized infrastructure so that nonprofits and residents can get updated information, and also a user profile so you can save all of your favorite listings. And that's all. I'm really glad to be here.